Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another power hour of the day of joy, self-expression, connection, and fundraising here at Hearts Need Art. I am here with Amanda, one of our newest board members. When did you join? It hasn't
The
like
Yeah, I think the board officially in December. I think December was my official first month on the
okay.
board. Yeah.
Amanda is in full Hearts New Art gear, probably head to toe, because we do include socks. And the reason
I
why she
am.
is because she is the reason why we have. I should actually get that up here. Our store is you. You're the reason. Can you
I,
I'm gonna share the screen,
yeah.
but can you talk about this store and what this has been like um to do for us, because
Yeah,
this is
absolutely.
something I have wanted for years, and I've tried to explain what I wanted to so many people, and you were the first person to be like, I know how to do that, or I can figure out how to do that, and you did.
Yeah, so this has been a fun project. So I appreciate you giving this to me and the opportunity to volunteer remotely to do this. So essentially, yeah, I went through. We capture pictures of the artwork that our patients and caregivers and staff are doing during the day throughout the program in the hospitals. And I have taken several of those pieces and turned them into digital art, and then we can turn those into items. So we have everything from shirts. You can see I'm wearing a sweatshirt, and turn around. It's got art on the back. T-shirts. We've got all kinds of stuff. Socks. Shoot, what else we got? We've got it all.
Mugs,
Mugs, totes, zipper pouches for your art supplies, all kinds of things.
puzzles.
Um, yeah, puzzles are good. And we even have prints too. So you can decorate your home, your office, stickers for your laptop. We've got all kinds of items. And it's been really fun to not only just like take these pieces and see, some of them you can see they're super personal. There's a lot of emotion and a lot of thought that's going into them, but they're also making really pretty, really bright, and really expressive items. And it's been really exciting to put those together and to share them and to wear them and support. And I've got everything from a tote bag to the socks to, yeah, I've got it all.
Everything. She's a walking
Everything.
billboard. Greeting cards.
Yeah, greeting
Um,
cards are great.
I know you said there's a lot of emotion in these, and I know every time I
There
talk
is.
to you about this, there's a lot of emotion coming from you. And I don't want to
Yeah.
put you on the spot, but I feel like this was something, I don't know how the stars align that you ended up doing this, but I feel like it was like divine intervention that you somehow did this, because it just feels like you were meant to do this for us. I don't
Well,
know how to
yeah, I
explain
appreciate that. I will do my best to talk about this without getting too emotional, because you're right. I get very emotional very easily. Yeah, so my family is very creative, very artistic. We're very sentimental. And so everything we do is well, I shouldn't say everything we do, but a lot of what we do is handmade or made from something that belonged to somebody, or taking an old tradition and turning it to a new piece or something like that. So my family has always been very, very artistic. And to me, because of that, there's a lot of emotion, a lot of love, a lot behind a piece of art, whether it's something physically handmade, a painting, anything like that. And then not just that, but the time, the work. I'm wearing a necklace actually my grandfather made me,
Oh
and it's a
wow.
quarter that's like the eagle is cut out of. And even though, like, it's been years and he's now passed on, like, I feel like I can still, when you make something, you hand it on like that, there's a piece of that person in there. So
Yeah.
any piece of art, art takes time. It takes time. It takes, um, depending on what it is, sometimes there's a lot of frustration or a lot of love or a lot of emotion that goes into that, or whatever the reason may be that you're making it. So yeah, there's a lot of emotion. And then looking at these pieces, you can see some even write messages in them, and are actually even describing some of the things they're grateful for and some of the things they're going through. And so it is very emotional to go through those pieces and you can feel some of that from them. And then to think too of, I don't know their stories when I'm going through it, but that they were there and they're going through something and they're having some type of, situation or feeling or emotion while they're making it. And so to just know that they even took the time to do it, and try to put the effort into it and that type of thing.
Yeah, we don't know that. Well, I mean, some of the pieces we don't know their stories. We don't know who it was, or, but you can see and feel all the emotions, the fear, the joy, the anxiety, all of it is in there, and it's really hard to pick the good ones for merchandise because they all, like, you could just feel it. It's so.
And I feel bad sometimes because there's some absolutely gorgeous ones and they just don't work. They just don't work for the, merchandise. It's like, and so it kills me sometimes because I want so hard to like make it happen, but they don't work, or I have to do a lot of manipulation, to get it there. And so I do struggle because there's so many more that like I would just love to fill up that gallery with.
Oh yeah, boxes of artwork. I put the link to the store in the comments if anybody wants to go shopping. It's a great way to support Hearts Need Art and get yourself a little something too, or get a good gift. Amanda is not only a good website shop maker and a good board member, she's also a great photographer and artist. And so she wanted to jump on today and teach us something. And we have some more friends from Tasca, so we're going to bring them out and they can introduce themselves when they get in here. And then you can lead us through what you're about to lead. So Rhonda and Lisa, can you say hello to everybody and introduce yourselves?
Hello, everyone. So I'm Lisa. I'm from the Philippines and I'm working from home. That's why you can see my background is blurred. Yeah, I've been in task I'll be on my 5th year this coming March 6th.
Wow.
So yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I'm from Workforce Management Department. And
Awesome.
it's nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you too.
Here.
Well, thank you so much.
Rhonda, who's I think our co-host for the day, is what I'm.
Hopefully I'm just part of the team at this point.
Yes.
I can't say enough about this organization. I'm Rhonda George. I am the senior director here on our people strategy team, and I have the pleasure to manage our DEI initiatives, our CSR community outreach, as well as all the transformation and the strategy behind our people and our amazing workforce team. So thank you so much, Lisa, for being here. And Amanda, I just want to thank you for sharing a part of your soul. I could just tell the passion there. That was beautiful to hear you. And I'm already on the art store. So if you see me looking over here, I'm putting stuff.
I'll wait for that order to come in. I'll wait for that email.
There's so many good things. So many good things.
Side note, Amanda was started as a volunteer, and I messaged her one day and I was like, how do you feel about maybe being a board member? And she was like, I don't know if that's me. I don't know if I'd be a good fit. I don't know if I would be good at it. Cut to now where she's done a million things for us and is amazing. Awesome. So
thank you.
I bow down to you, Amanda.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that.
I'm going to put you in the driver's seat.
All right.
Have at it.
Okay, so I picked an abstract art project for today. I'm going to give you a little information about why, and then we'll go through it. And I think you guys will like it. And I know especially Richard, who claims he's not artistic, but I swear he is. So, so I picked an activity that's actually proven to, or a technique that's proven to help to reduce stress and anxiety. And the reason I picked it is because I myself am a very anxious person. And so I'm constantly looking for ways to reset my brain. And so this particular activity combines two different things. So it combines a breathing technique and it combines just the mind distraction. And so for anybody that knows anything about anxiety and stress, distraction and breathing are two very, very well scientifically documented techniques for helping to reset your brain and to calm yourself. And so I have a couple examples and we'll do one together, but this is essentially the activity. So abstract, super fun. This one I did with watercolor. This one is just highlighters. Like you can do it at the office. You don't need anything fancy.
Love that.
And then this one is just markers, but I just like did, you know, some lines and some dots and stuff like that in it. So you can do all kinds of different things. And so we're going to walk through it. Now, I usually do the lines with my eyes closed. I'm not going to do that today. We'll do it with our eyes open because I don't think we want to sit here for a minute with our eyes closed live. But closing your eyes does help to kind of get your breathing technique. So essentially, all you're going to do is take your piece of paper. Doesn't matter what kind of paper or what size it is. And either your thin marker or your pen or whatever it might be. I'm going to grab my phone so I can set a timer because that is part of the process, setting a 1-minute timer. So I'm just going to pull that up so I can time us for 1 minute. So what we're going to do in that 1 minute, we're going to draw a line and we're going to draw it with our breath. So as you breathe in, you're going to draw one line. And as you breathe out, you're going to draw another. And as you breathe in, you're going to draw a line. And as you breathe out, you're going to draw another. And you go in between, you're going to switch and you're going to make these lines all over your paper. Don't think about patterns. Don't think about anything. Just drawing lines with your in and your out breath. And we're going to do it for 1 minute. So I'm going to go ahead and start the timer and we'll draw our lines.
Do you take the pen off the paper?
I don't.
Okay, so you
no,
just keep
so
it
like
consistently.
Yep.
Okay.
I just keep just doing this across my page.
Wow. Okay, got it.
All right, that is a minute. Y'all, I have a house full of pets, so the cat, the dogs, they're all gonna I can see the cat's trying to open the door behind me. They're all gonna join. I have my 6-foot nutcracker, you know, because there's no good place for a nutcracker. So yeah. Okay, so you guys should have it looks like literally like scribbles all over your page. You should have, yeah, awesome. Okay, and it also is a reminder that a minute is a lot longer than you think. It's kind of like when you put something in the microwave, it's a lot longer than you think. So the whole point to that is helping to control your breathing, slow down your breathing, because as you slow down your breathing, that helps you to relax. And then simply, we are going to take our markers or colored pencils or crayons, whatever it might be, and then we're going to fill in some of these spots. So again, as I had examples, you can do patterns in them. This one has some overlapping, so like the colors start mixing. You don't have to do all of them, but this is the distraction part. So coloring and distraction is very good for the mind. And we can just color in our spaces however you want. And then I'm going to show you too, after we do this for a minute, but I'm also going to show you how you can alter this so that if you're on the go and all you have is literally a piece of paper or maybe like an envelope or a receipt, you can alter this a little bit to help you to relax on the go. It also reminds me if anybody is a doodler, like during meetings or phone calls, it's a very similar mental process. Believe it or not, there is some scientific benefits to being a doodler. So that's a very similar process as well. And sometimes you can do something different to like challenge yourself. You know, if you're doing this at home and you just want to like relax, you can decide, oh, I'm just going to pick 3 colors. Or like I said, you could just do patterns or try a different medium, you know, to color in. There's all kinds of different things you can do. But then turn out with like a really nice bright colored abstract art. And the nice thing about abstract art, and one of the reasons it's relieving and relaxing as well, is your mind doesn't think it should look like something. So you don't have this preconceived notion that, oh, it's supposed to look like a flower, but it doesn't look anything like a flower. And so there's no way of your brain getting, tricking yourself to say, well, that doesn't look anything like it was supposed to look like, because it's not supposed to look like anything. And I will say, I do enjoy doing it with my eyes closed because it is relaxing, but you have to be very aware of where your paper is or you will draw on your table. That's why some, like this one, turned out to be really small because I did have my eyes closed for this one, and I was afraid to get off the table.
I know. I closed my eyes because I've been on here since 9 o'clock this morning, and so I was like, I'm gonna take a quick nap while I do this, and then now I'm mad that I didn't go here. Mine all ended up here, and I was going off the page. But
that's okay. That's to say, when you do your eyes closed, it's very you have no awareness of where you're at, or like I said, and that's okay. Having your eyes closed, though, it's super relaxing.
It was such a good little meditation with the breathing.
Yeah, it is.
And for a minute, and I feel like it was like a quick cat nap.
It's just a reset. It resets your brain. Breathing is super important, and you think you're breathing normal, but often you are breathing a lot faster than you think you are. So by forcing yourself to bring awareness to it and make a line with your breath, you help to reset that also.
We do something similar to this in the hospital. We call it take a line for a walk. And we do this part. And then when we're in a group setting, we time that as well. And so we say, 3 minutes or whatever, and people are drawing, and then we have them pass it to the person next to them. And then they get to draw on the previous person's, and it goes all the way around the table. So when you're finished, you get your piece back, but everybody in the room got to participate in your artwork. So you have this joint combination piece of art that everybody helped you make.
That's awesome. I love that idea. That would be great even too for a little bit older, like a birthday party for, a old, like a preteen or even like a early teen or anything like that. That would be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So you get a piece that everyone helped you make. And then I don't know, it's everybody has a little piece of everybody.
I like that.
You get to take it home.
Didn't you guys do a similar project with paint at one of our fundraising events? Was it Charity Bar? You guys did something similar with one of the artists that everybody could help paint a canvas?
Yeah, we kind of laid out canvases, and everybody could grab some paint and help make one big abstract piece. And then you throw the word abstract out there, and then there's no pressure.
Yep. Well, and the thing I like about this is too, it doesn't matter what material you have for coloring. So like I said, you have crayons, you have colored pencils. I use the highlighters on the one, it gives you a lot of options for what you actually have available to you. Shoot, it could be just colored Sharpie markers if that's what you have available to you. So it gives you a lot of options to be able to do it and just reset without feeling a lot of pressure.
I'm glad my notebook is small because the markers I chose earlier this morning to bring up here to prepare for this are the tiniest. This is some coloring this thing with the end of a pin.
Well, then that would have been, you could always do your hash marks for that. You could do some patterns.
Mm-hmm. I'm doing the patterns.
There you go.
Amanda, if you can multitask, because I clearly can't do this and talk to you at the same time, but can you talk a little bit about your board service and why you did decide to join the board and what you get out of it?
Yeah, so I think So I was afraid at first, like you mentioned, more so because I know a really important part of being a board member is, a community aspect of it. And I do not live in San Antonio. So I was really afraid because I don't have those connections to you guys locally, that I was really, feeling like was really important. But as I started to talk to a couple of people, and I actually did seek some advice from a one of my managers at work as well, who I know is a board member of another organization. But as I started talking and realizing that, you had mentioned, and I started to think about it, that I might not have those local connections, but there's a lot of other things that people can bring to the table besides that. So as I started to think about it, it was more just of a how do I feel about the mission? And the mission was obviously very important to me. I actually found you guys by trying to do some art therapies for myself and my own mental health. And so I just started to really think about, what's important to me. Do I believe it's important to share? I obviously do. And do I think I can help? And in the end, I determined that I could, and that I wanted to. And so yeah, so as the treasurer, I'm really just trying to bring whatever knowledge and ideas and creativity as far as bringing the organization and the program to as many people as we can, and to do it as effectively as we can. And it's been honestly all the things that I thought it would be, in a very good way. It's not easy, it's challenging. But there is a lot of reward that comes with that, because you see the progress and all of your efforts going to a really great cause and helping people. And then for me too, working on the store, I have that connection too of seeing it very in my face all the time, looking at artwork, and it's very obvious that what we're doing is making a difference. So it really came down to just, what I said in the beginning, I was really afraid because I wasn't in San Antonio, so I did not have those local connections. But then it just really came down to, well, what else can I offer? And do I have other things I can offer? And in the end, I believed I did. So
answer is yes.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. But yeah, I love it. I really do love it. It's a very great group of people. We have an amazing mission. And, I do believe that art is extremely good for the mind and the body. And I know that if I were in a situation, that I would probably be trying to do as much of it as I possibly can. And that's kind of how I found you guys to begin with. So
When I feel like if you don't, well, even if you do, because I was here every day, but when I was in the hospital, after the first 2 weeks, I was like, okay, I would like one day where nobody talks to me. And I remember talking to the founder on the phone, and she was like, I'm gonna send a musician. And I was like, I just don't want anybody. Like, I just need some alone time, or like some quiet time. And she didn't listen. And in walked a musician, and it completely changed my day for the better. Like, it's like I didn't know what I needed, even though I should have known, because I have been working here for how many years, but it completely changes, even outside of the hospital. I always say that, like, what would happen if we, like we're doing now, if we did this every day before we ended up in the hospital, before we were sick? And we'd probably be doing both of those things a lot less if we were doing more of this every day.
yeah, it's when I first started doing watercolor, which is relatively new to me, but become very, very relaxing for me. I had to definitely, and I appreciate, because I know you say I'm very artistic, very creative, and I appreciate that. But I'm not a realistic painter by any means. And so I really had to become like, I really had to remind myself, kind of like you and I have talked about before, that it is not about the result. It is about the process. And when I really started embracing that and decided that, you just go with the flow, and and it's really about what you're doing more than anything else, then it becomes a lot more relaxing. It becomes a lot more enjoyable. And I think that's what I like about these abstracts too, is like I said, there's nothing to say, oh, well, this does not look like what it's supposed to look like.
Right.
It's also why on my most recent venture, I've been making cards with, I actually have one over here. Hold on, I'll show you. I've been making cards with my watercolor for people, but I can't do faces. I'm going to grab this and show you.
Okay. Lisa, Rhonda, how are you doing? We'll check in with you while Amanda's grabbing her cards.
Actually, this is what I'm doing right now.
Oh my gosh. You've got a ton of it in already.
That's awesome. Rhonda, how does yours look?
Lisa's a superstar.
Well, she must have a very big marker. That's what I'm guessing.
I was going to say, why didn't you not let me go first?
Oh, that's
Oh,
that looks
No,
great,
that's
Rhonda.
I noticed, though, when we first started the breathing exercise, though, I was like big lines. I was like, oh, I got to make sure.
Yeah.
And I made sure they had to connect. And then I noticed as I just enjoyed the exercise, my triangles got easier and they got smaller.
Yep.
So I love like the simplicity, right? The chaos before the storm and then just the calmness. So I like that. So breathing is such a big part of our life, and we just kind of go on autopilot. But then when we really focus on it, it really kind of helps bring everything back in finite scope in our body to kind of just reset. So I think this is a great exercise, but I was like, I got a lot of big triangles here. I got a little worried.
Love that. No, that's great. I'm glad you're enjoying it. So after I started doing the watercolor for a little while, so as I was saying in the beginning, I really enjoy, making and sending homemade things. So I wanted to do cards, making homemade cards. And so I was like, oh, well, I'll do pictures. I'll do pictures from like moments of that person's lives. But I can't draw faces. Even when I was tracing it, I cannot draw faces. So I decided they were going to be faceless. And I've literally done this whole series of cards for people with faceless people.
Wow. But it probably still looks like them, right?
Yep. Yeah, and it does. It looks like the photos, but like I just went with it. I just had to embrace it. Like I can't do faces, and so I'm gonna keep doing it just without faces.
Wow. How long does it take you to do one card?
Not as long as you might think, to be honest. Like I'll do one in a day, and it only takes me maybe 45 minutes or so. Yeah, it doesn't take me as long as you might think. But I have restarted several. I did one for my sister recently, and it was my sister and my grandfather shared a birthday, and it was the two of them from my sister's 16th birthday, and they were sitting together, and I redid that one 2 or 3 times because I just wasn't liking the way it came out, but I was determined. So, but yeah. All right, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to show you a way that you can actually alter this, or another way that you can do this without having something to color with. So if you're on the go, or you just don't have it available. Maybe you're at a desk and you don't have the coloring or whatever it might be, but you feel you need the break. Now, the example I'm going to show you ahead of time is one that did not go fast, but just so you know. But it is one I actually did while I was very anxious. So this is it, and it's very intricate. Promise you it's not as complicated as it looks, and it does take time. But I did this one in a notebook, and it was at a time when I was very anxious. But I'm going to show you how to do it because it's a lot easier than it looks. And if you work on it in pieces, it's really pretty. Wow. It's really, really pretty. And it's something you can do anywhere because literally all it is a piece of paper and a pen. Super easy. I promise it's a lot easier than it looks. Just don't expect to do it in like 15 minutes.
We're not going to do it by the time we're done with this live stream.
Yeah, no. But I want to show you because even this one with the triangles, if you don't have anything but, this is what I got so far while we were talking, by the way. But even if you don't have anything to color with, you can still do your breathing exercise with the triangles, and you can still use your pen to do just hash marks, polka dots, write things you're grateful for. I don't know if you guys know this, but biologically, you cannot be anxious and grateful at the same time. So if you start listing off things you're grateful for, that also resets your brain because it does not know how to be both anxious and grateful at the same time. So if you just make the triangles and then start writing in things that you're grateful for or things that make you happy or smile, that's another great thing you can do without anything to color with.
Wow.
So fun fact, you cannot be both. You can jump back and forth quickly, but you can't be both at the same time.
A little bit of concentration there.
That's right. Yeah, okay, so this one, I'm just going to show you how I did this. I'll just show you a little bit of it because like I said, it is intricate, but if like this was in a notebook and I just worked on it over a course of a couple days, like when I was feeling anxious or something like that. But it's a lot of fun. So instead of I'm going to try to put this up here so I can show you while I'm doing this. Let's see. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
So instead of doing your triangles, you're literally just going to kind of do this like swoopy and swirly around your page. And you're not going to do it for a full minute or you're going to have way too much going on, but you're just going to squiggle all over your page. And then I'm going to put this a little closer, you can see. So you've got like all these points that connect. So your little like connection points and whatever. So what you do is from connection point to connection point, you just make a little line. It can be wavy, it can be whatever, and you do like 2 or 3 of them. And then you do it on the same side, other side, 2 or 3 of them. Then you get like a petal almost. Then you do it on this side, and you do your wavy lines, and you do 2 or 3 of them. And then you do it on this side. And this is what's making all of these. And then you just literally, let me bring this closer to you so you can see. But then you literally just make like little swoopy lines in between. And then you just like work off of it. You do like 3 of them. You do some swoopy lines over here. And then you do some swoopy lines over here. And that's literally it.
Uh-oh.
Eventually, it turns
And then
into
as you
another
work through-
beast. Wow.
Yeah. But then what the fun thing is like for me, when I do this, you don't have to do this. This is just how I do it. When I'm doing all these, I count. So I pick like a number 3 or 4. And as I do my lines, I do like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then like just doing that and sitting there and doing that, it just, my mind's, it's focused and you've distracted yourself and you've no longer are, because you're counting it out and just swooping, you're no longer thinking about whatever it is that you were thinking about.
That would be so great, like next to, like on your desk, if you're, if you work at a desk, just like take a quick 5-minute break and like reset, or your nightstand, if you before bed, like just to totally shut down.
And that's exactly like how I did this one. So this was in one of my work notebooks. We went on a vacation. I was working remotely and I was having a little bit of an anxious time with it. And throughout the trip, like as I was like feeling, I did not do this in one sitting. This was exactly that, like work on a piece of it, put it aside, come back to it later, work on a piece of it, like as I was feeling anxious. Yeah.
I have a question about, so my anxious mind would go to like smudging of that, like starting in the middle and then like, so does that, I guess it would probably depend on the marker you're using, or should you start from one end and work your way over?
So okay, so first of all, many times I have gotten the smudging. So part of it is I do tend to work from one end to the other. I realized when I did my example, I just picked the center to show you guys, but I do tend to work from one side to the other. I also don't always do the full page. A lot of times I just do within my swoops and leave like my outside like empty. However, I am addicted to these Pigma Micron like art pens because they are waterproof, they don't smudge, they dry super quickly. So I do tend to use these just because like with my watercolor, I can draw and then use the watercolor over and it stays completely still. And so these have kind of become my go-to. But they're super cheap. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them at Office Depot, whatever. They come in like all kinds of different thicknesses, and usually you get like a thing of 5 of them with different like thicknesses. And I love these things.
Noted.
Mm-hmm.
Noted, because that's how I end up with stuff all over my hands.
Oh no, I have no. My hands, my paper, everything will look like a mess sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Lisa and Rhonda, can we check in as we finish up with Amanda and see how your pieces are coming?
You want to see my painting?
Let's see who wants to go first. Oh, yours is kind of shadowed, Lisa, by the.
Oh, sorry, I don't know
That's
why.
okay.
Oh, must be.
It's
That's
just
okay.
the background.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Look at
that's
that.
pretty.
That's really pretty.
Very pretty.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'm a beginner artist. Actually, I'm doing canvas painting, and here's a sample what I'm doing right now.
Gosh.
Oh, how
Oh
pretty
my
is
gosh.
So
that?
it's also part of my mental health, uh, like exercise. So whenever I'm stressed, I do some painting.
And
That's awesome.
did you go straight to this is like did you go straight to just I'm gonna buy a canvas and see what happens? Because that's
Yes, actually, I didn't study painting. I just watched the one in the YouTube.
mm-hmm.
So that's all I tried to imitate or do some of my paintings like the way they're doing. But of course, I only get the idea and I do it on my own.
Wow. That's really
That's
good.
awesome.
Yeah. Love that. I like how she starts with the I just started painting and then she whips up this beautiful canvas.
Yeah, actually, I'm selling also my mini canvas paintings, and a part of it, I'm using it as a donation to one of our charity group here in Tascas,
Oh
Philippines,
wow.
Oh,
San
that's
Fernando. Yeah.
awesome.
I
Very
love that.
nice.
Lisa, you're
That's
amazing.
great.
Thank you.
You should have been the co-host as well with Rhonda all day today. You're amazing.
Maybe someday.
Yes. Rhonda, what did yours turn out like?
Well, again, I do not like to go after Lisa.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
I have no story. So, Lisa, I will commit to buy some art from you. How about that?
Oh, that's great. But you're in the US.
I'll take care
No,
of it.
no.
Don't you worry.
All
This
right.
is mine. I went and
Oh, that
actually got
looks
my
good though. That looks so
Oh.
great.
and I was so excited. I went and got my crayons that basically I've had that the kids had that I've kept this box and I've not opened this in like 15 years. And
Oh
I
my
was like,
gosh.
this is so
Very
great. I'm like, I was like, that one day I'm going to use it. Here it is.
And the fact that you knew where it was in your house is even more amazing.
I'm pretty organized.
Yeah.
and it's look
Wow.
new.
Yeah. Your drawing looks to me similar to the origami that we made. It looks kind of similar to the crane.
Oh, there you go.
We've got a theme here with you, Rhonda.
I think I'm going to have a station just for arts need hearts.
Yes, you need a craft station. Every home needs one. Well, thank you, Lisa and Rhonda, for joining us. This was fun, and I hope you I hope you put a notepad on your desks from now on to create art. Amanda, you are amazing.
Thank you. Thank you for
And
having me.
thank you for doing this, and I appreciate
Absolutely.
it. And I also appreciate the Nutcracker also joining us.
And that's
That was
something
nice.
I learned today doing the abstract painting, which I'm having a hard time because I don't know how. But now I learned from Amanda. Thank you very much.
Oh,
So
You're welcome.
I'll just use the breathing exercise
Yeah,
and freeing my mind.
yeah,
absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Thank you all for watching, for joining us. Make sure you go to givebutter.com/day of joy to donate so we can continue moments like these in the hospital every day. We will see you in a little bit with some live music. So get your music requests ready because it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
My very first day was electric. It was wonderful. It is changing their lives for the better, and they remember these experiences and they hold on to them. And not only do they, but the artists like myself, we hold on to the experiences
I see at ground level what it's actually doing for people. Not just hearing stories about it, I see it with my eyes, I hear it from their voices.
It definitely makes a significant difference for patients and healthcare workers. More than once, more than almost a dozen times now, I've heard people say that they are so shocked that it's available, and so happy to see it continue, and hope that it continues for more people in more hospitals soon.
I can't tell you enough how beautiful it is to be a part of this and to see the effect we're having, the positive effect we're having in the hospitals.
Their staff is super appreciative, so they're always super excited to see us, and that translates to their patients because they let them know that we're there as well. And it's been an amazing opportunity.
I see it. I see the enthusiasm. I'm grateful for the people that fund this organization. Amazing.
It's touching lives every single day. It's both fulfilling, not just for patients and hospital staff, but the people that work in Hearts Need Art are giving back and also receiving at the same token.
Thank you so much for being a part of this organization and being a part of what we do. I'm very grateful of that support, and I hope to continue to see that and continue to work not just with the hospital, with the staff, with the rest of the members in the organization, but most importantly with the patients. I think that they're the reason why we exist.